Hey everybody, it's Spopes. It's finally gotten so cold outside that I'm going to shoot these videos at my office, at least for the time being, instead of fording my way out there in the 30-degree weather. We'll see how that goes. But today, I'm going to talk about something that I haven't really talked about on the channel before, but I feel like it's core to the issue of overcoming addiction in general, to leading a better life, and to connecting with God overall. And that is the issue of pornography. So just to define the terms, originally pornography meant basically any kind of banned imagery or even literature. Anything that didn't jive with the general Judeo-Christian sentiment. I hate that word. The general Christian sentiment, right? But anything that didn't mesh well with the overall cultural gestalt was considered pornography or porn. But what I'm talking about here is specifically explicit sexual imagery. This can be a woman in a bikini. It can be hardcore depictions of graphic sex acts that, might involve coercion, rape, degradation, or it might be consensual. Basically, any kind of imagery, whether it's drawn, depicting fictional characters, or depicting images of real women. Anything that you use for sexual gratification, and especially in this day and age, what we see on the other side of our screens. So, God hates porn. It's kind of an intense statement, but it's 100% evil. Whether you are in a committed relationship or not, it's evil. If you're in a committed relationship, especially if you're married, it is a violation of your marriage. It's a violation of the Bible, where it says we'd be better off pulling out one of your own eyeballs than looking at a woman who's not your wife in lust. And if you're not in a relationship, it's going to so warp your relationships with sexual gratification and women in general that you basically lose all chance of ever having a good, intimate relationship. Now, sex and marriage lead us to God. That joy is a tiny foretaste, a tiny microcosm of the divine joy of being in heaven. It's something sacred. And honestly, I'm not sure about this yet, but probably even masturbation is evil. This is a lot of preaching, but I have reasons to back this up. So I started looking at porn when I was 12. And at this point, my brain is probably so fried that it will never recover. Even though I'm clean and I've stopped, I think the damage has been done. And it's been normalized to the point that people think it's normal or okay, or because you're not actually touching a woman or going out and actually, getting a prostitute or something, it's not really infidelity. But the whole point is that you think you're there. There's this barrier of the screen in between you and the image. But the whole point is to make you feel like you're in the image. And your brain really doesn't distinguish between them. So it used to be back in the day infidelity, but now, like actual physical infidelity, but now the devil mainly works through pornography to destroy marriages. Destroy the potential of marriage in people who aren't married. And destroy just the sacred connection with the divine that sex is supposed to bring. Sex is supposed to create children. It's supposed to be the portal and passageway by which new life enters the world. But pornography brings the devil into your marriage, into your children, into your home. It does that through the very act of looking at it, but also many porn users, men, lie about it. And the devil works through lies, and only the truth can set you free. And it's also like pretty gay. Like you're cucking yourself and you're also looking at dicks. Like, I mean, if you're just looking at girls masturbating or something, I guess it's different. It's still looking upon another woman with lust. It's still sin, but at least you aren't looking at penises. But during my time as a porn addict, I have no idea how many dicks I saw. Maybe that's why I grew my hair out like this. I'm gonna cut my hair soon. I leave the mustache, but I'm gonna cut the hair. Just when I get around to it. So the devil wants to turn us away from God, to take that which is sacred and destroy it. And he definitely wants us to lie. He works subtly. In this day and age, by taking adultery and slimming it down or changing the medium to the extent that people think, oh, this isn't really adultery. This is something else. This might be kind of adultery, but it's not really. And then marriages are destroyed. And it messes with your ability to think. Your porn brain can't think properly. So you miss social cues. And you view other people through an unreasonably sexual light. Marriage and sex are something sacred that is between a man and a woman. And as long as they are of fertile childbearing age, it's between a man and a woman specifically for the purpose of making children. Porn does nothing. It provides a temporary sense of gratification that is then you gradually hollow yourself out until you're empty inside. And the shame and the guilt build on each other. And then if you never admit what you've been doing, you just have lies upon lies, years of lies. That then when the truth does come out, it can be cataclysmic. But one point of comfort is that this all comes from the devil's deception. If you are struggling with pornography, it's not your fault. It's because Satan is at work in the world, trying to destroy and profane the sacred, trying to turn people away from God, trying to make people feel guilt and shame. But if you are using porn, and if you are lying to your significant other about it, the only thing that will make it better is confessing to them specifically. Otherwise, you're going to be living in an artificial world. You're going to be living a lie. And women always know. They have an intuition for this kind of thing. Some women more than others. And, some women are okay with porn and their husbands using it. But I think maybe there's like a very rare subset of like psychologically healthy women who are okay with this. But I think in a lot of cases, it's coping. It's desperation. It's not wanting to let go of the marriage. It's, they feel trapped. It's just inherently wrong. And no woman in her right mind should countenance it. And no man in his right mind should use it. And this may apply also to masturbation. Like definitely if you are visualizing other women, if you're fantasizing And you know, it isn't actually a male biological need to ejaculate. You get this sense as a masturbation or porn addict that you have to. It's not. It's you can just not. And my intuition has been telling me this since I was a small child. Or not small, but basically as soon as I started having an issue with this when I was a kid, anytime I saw a knife or scissors, I started, this is kind of screwed up, like trigger warning, but I started fantasizing about cutting my own dick off. Like something deep in my spiritual sense was telling me, like basically what was in the Bible, even though I wasn't Christian. I didn't grow up Christian at all. It'd be better to pluck out your own eye, in this case, cut off your own dick, than to have lust for another woman. And, you know, if you have been lying for years and you do have to admit it, like I said before, the results can be cataclysmic, but there will be a palpable sense of, wow, the devil is gone. The truth will set you free. And it might mean free into a life of celibacy or of divorce or free into some pretty troublesome and difficult circumstances. But that's the only way to atone yourself to God. And if you go to your grave not repenting, not confessing, things are going to be a hell of a lot harder for you in the afterlife. C.S. Lewis said the doors of hell are locked from the inside, and I think that's true, but I think the amount of time it takes you to ascend to heaven, the amount of spiritual time, maybe it's connected to the real world's time, I don't know. Maybe it's like Narnia time. But the amount of time it takes you to climb Mount Purgatory and reach the pearly gates depends on not the sins that you've committed, but how much you have admitted and repented them in life. So just summing up, porn is 100% evil. It destroys both existing relationships. It destroys the potential of relationships in men. It harms women. It harms children. Maybe not directly, but it spiritually harms children who you have with your wife. And it definitely harms the women who then compare themselves to the images in pornography. I'm talking about everything. Again, drawn images, amateur images and videos, high production quality porn, all of it. It's all evil. It's all from the devil. You don't have to use it, but also you probably will keep using it until you do confess. Confess to the person you've harmed and confess to God, because it's that sense of secrecy and shame that keeps the cycle going. So confess what you've done, accept the consequences, and just ask God for strength to deal with it. It is a huge problem. It's been normalized for men, but it's not normal and it's not right. And each one of us is a drop in the bucket of stopping the devil in his quest to besmirch and profane and warp the holiness of marriage and of sex with this form of modern day adultery. So I know this is being kind of controversial. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Tell me, as much as you're willing, your experiences with this. But more importantly, tell your wife, tell your girlfriend, tell God, and stop making yourself gay by looking at dicks. Lord, I pray for everyone who is under the influence of porn, who has had their brain development hampered, who's had their view of the world harmed, who has harmed others in their relationships. Lord, be with everyone who porn has touched and harmed. Uplift them, guide them to the right path, and forgive them. Let mercy be in their lives. Let the truth set them free into a better life in some way or another. And Lord, please empower us as individuals to end this scourge on the earth once and for all. Lord, in your mercy, hear our prayer. So thank you all for watching. Really appreciate it. If you haven't, like and subscribe. And turn on notifications because I'll be back soon. And there's a video in the corner if you can't wait. God bless you. See you soon.